Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, this time for my end of year video where I go over my top 10 favorite sync pairs that Pokemon Masters has released in the year of 2024. So, this only counts for characters that were released in 2024, obviously, and it only counts characters I actually own. So any character I do not have, even if I really like them, which I would very likely have them if I like them that much, is not going to be on here. So, this isn't a list of all the characters that I've got, but I didn't feel like fluffing this out anymore so people, could theorize or whatever. But I guess let's go ahead and go into it. Sure. Do I have this pulled up here? Yes, I do. Okay. My top 10, or number 10 character is going to be Lear and Gardenia. Lear and Gardenia is super fun. I love this character's design. They're one of the strongest characters released this year for sure. Easily, if I were to be honest, I think they're probably the fourth strongest character released this year. I could maybe third. I can see them beating out Arcsuit Lance. I really like this character's kit. The only reason this guy's at 10 and not any higher is because as a character for Lear, he's fine. I don't particularly really like him, but I don't dislike him either. He's just a fine character for me, like a good 6 to 7 out of 10 character, just quite average. And Gardenia, not really a Pokemon I'm too into. I mean, it's fine. It's, again, about the same as Lear. I don't really care much about Gardenia, but the way that this character plays is super fun. They're like the way their kit plays out is fine. Like, this is fine. The damage, the Make It Rain Buddy move, like, these are strong moves, all that. That's not why I like them. I like them because of the support. I play the mobile game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, which is a game that has a lot of... One of its biggest gameplay features is having characters that can do damage, but also characters that can do a lot of good support to enhance character damage, even though they're not, taking damage or whatever, in the same sense as, how Pokemon Masters plays out. Basically, the way that I play that game is very similar to how Lear plays, where he is contributing a lot to the team. He contributes that damage, he contributes this ability to prevent stat debuffs for himself, and status conditions, and, all these effects for the team, right? But the big thing is the support and the stats. He's able to buff ally sync move and move damage up to 60%, not even considering the fact he's got a master passive as well as his own circle. And that is just one of the most fun playstyles to me, to be able to support literally any character you put with him and have them do significantly more damage is extremely funny, and I love this kit for that. This character is amazing. If I were to go ahead and choose someone else that's sadly not going to be on this list that I would have liked to include, watch Skyla. I'm going to put her number 10, kind of tied with Lear, because I like her as a character. This character is pretty fun. Her damage is actually really, really good for being free to play. She's the best free flying striker in the game, pretty much without any competition, to the point where she can out DPS, or at least contend with Anniversary Steven, which I know, obviously, Anniversary Steven's pretty low bar, but also, this is a free character versus a master fair, right? So, I really, really like this character's kit. I would put her at number 10 as well, kind of tied with Lear, but more of an honorable mention, so I'm just going to put her back in here. Okay, and I gotta look at my list again on who I actually have. Okay, yeah. Number 9, this one's gonna be a little bit controversial. Arcsuit Cynthia and Garchomp. I really like Cynthia as a character, really like Garchomp as a Pokemon. Sinnoh's my favorite region. I've got every reason to love this character. Only reason she's at number 9 is because I don't really use her too much. She's really good, and I've used her a lot, a good bit in the Battle Rally, and she's really fun, but I simply just don't honestly use her that much. She's really good though. Again, she's really, really strong, obviously, but it's more so just the fact that I don't get too much usage out of her because I don't do ultimate battles that much, and if I do, I mostly go for their weakness, and well, Lucy's the only one that Lucy's one that I've already beaten, and I don't really have too much of a reason to use Cynthia. I used her in her showcase, I've used her in the Battle Rally a good bit since then, but I haven't used her too terribly much, and haven't found too many reasons to actually use her that much, so I just put her at 9, because I do really, really like the character, and the kit and all of that, but just haven't gotten too much usage out of it. Just, I really tend to prefer a lot of characters that I can use, I guess, a lot more instead of characters that I use, even though I really like them, but don't use them too terribly often, I guess. Anyway, I guess we'll move on to number 8 here. And number 8 is one that... Arcsuit Lance. I went for Arcsuit Lance. I do not like Lance or Dragonite over Cynthia or Garchomp as characters in Pokemon, but I do really like Lance's kit, and I've used it a decent bit more. I loved using it relatively recently because I did use it against Morgan. Did not use it on video, of course, but I did use Lance versus Morgan, and that battle was super fun. I remember using him to clear Palmer was extremely fun. I love that. Cynthia can probably clear Palmer too, but I remember that specific memory in Lance's 4 out of 5 showcase, I think it was, where he and Neo Champion Nate cleared Palmer, and that was just was really, really funny. I honestly really enjoyed that video, making that. That was super fun. And this guy got a great kit. I love his utility. His utility is amazing. Be able to debuff defenses for both stats is great. Having one super strong nuking move is also super fun. Also, just recently used him in the damage challenge for Dragon 3v1, and that was also an extremely fun time to use him. So just the amount of, like, I guess recent fun that I've had using the character is why he's probably higher than Cynthia, even though I don't like him as much as a character in terms of, Dragonite as a Pokemon. Even though I do like Lance. Of course, do like Lance. Number 7, this one's going to be fun. Number 7, I actually might just swap around my number 6 and 7 really quick. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to swap out my number 6 and 7. So number 7 is going to be Summer Gardenia and Delmise. This is the character that I got initially, like, really got me back into the game after I took that month-long break, which wasn't necessarily because I wasn't enjoying the game as much. I mean, I guess I probably was. Still not, but hey, that's whatever. This character was super fun to bring back. She has a great outfit, one of my favorite outfits, especially this year. Like, if I were to vote in my own Masters Awards, there's a very good chance I would actually have voted her for the best outfit. But I really, really love this character's abilities. Being able to debuff pretty well with Metal Sound for the damage challenge, which had just released pretty much at the time of her release, was super good when Ghost 3v3 came around, and I still use her for my Ghost 3v3, by the way. Such an effective character for it. But also her ability to set Ghost Zone multiple times, usage of the Buddy move, the Trainer move on her Sync move because she's Field. Providing all these effects for Ghost characters is extremely good, especially because one of my other favorite releases was Special Costume Irida, and so her buff to Costume Irida was great, and I also was a very big fan of Renegade Cynthia, still am of course, and well, the biggest buff there for Renegade Cynthia, well, Summer Gardenia with her Infinite Ghost Zone basically helped it, so Cynthia didn't have to worry about setting it too much. She could focus on her own debuffing, and also the fact that Gardenia was able to activate all of her multipliers with her special defense debuffing meant that Cynthia had access to a very good partner that also shared her region skill as well, double Sina, so helped out with Cynthia's master passive. Cynthia gained her EX roll back in March as well, so we were able to basically make full use of Cynthia's strength after Summer Gardenia release. So that's why Gardenia is here. Amazing outfit. Really like Gardenia as a trainer as well. Wanted her to get an actual, dedicated alt for a while. I really loved it when regular Gardenia and Roserade got their grid expansion back in 2022, 2023. I actually don't remember, but it was super fun for me as well. So I'm glad that she finally got an actual alt. Very, very appreciated. Okay, I just thought something was knocking at my window. What the fuck? That was creepy. Anyway, moving on. Arcsuit Steven. Okay, Arcsuit Steven at number 6 here. So, Arcsuit Steven here. Okay. Yeah, I did swap him and Gardenia around in a hot switch just because I gotta give the man credit. I like Steven a lot. I like Steven more than Lance as a character, but not more than Cynthia. I mean, at my trio ranking would be Cynthia, Steven, and then Lance, but Metagross is super cool as well. I might honestly prefer Metagross over Garchomp as a Pokemon, and the fact that this guy is just so damn strong. Holy crap, what is there even to say about this guy's strength that hasn't been said already? He's like easily the best character in the game. There's no competition at all. He is unbelievably stupid, and I've gotten so much usage out of him ever since, like, pulling him right. Like, you basically just throw him on any stage, and, well, the stage is done. It was super fun to see him clear Morgan in the video where I used the triple Anniversary Steel team with Sigma Lear and Anniversary Lily. It's always super good to see him be just totally dominant in the battle rally, any stage you can use him on. Steven's so stupid. This character is so stupidly good in terms of kit. His outfit is great. I love the arc suits. Look, say what you want about their banner format. I agree entirely. All BS. The golden only being able to use golden candies. Agree with all of it. I love the concept of arc suits as like just a concept. Their outfits. Their the team up with an older Pokemon that already exists, but it's like their actual dedicated partner. I appreciate that concept, even if it may be a little bit cheap. And obviously, maybe a little bit of asset reuse here or there, but still. I love them. I love these arc suits. They do only rank in the bottom half of the top 10, but that does not mean that I'd actively dislike them. I love all of these characters, from like Sigma Lear all the way up, right? I actually love these. And even ones I did not get to rank, I actually really, really like a lot of these characters as well. So, just saying. Just putting that out there. All right, moving on to number 5. Mentioned them earlier in the video that kind of hinted at it, but Costume Irida and Hisuian Zoroark. This character is great. This character was extremely strong back, well, she still is, right? Still extremely strong. I'm not going to say was, still is. Extremely strong back on release, and I had a ton of fun using this character. I'm glad I didn't have to pity her, by the way. Thankfully got super lucky to actually get her off of the tiered scout. Because she was the only character that I pulled for in that entire month I did not have to pity. Oh my god, that was rough, that half anniversary. If you want to know why I've been so lucky on daily discounts and banners and whatnot, it's because I pitied 3 out of the 4 scouts I summoned for back during the freaking 4.5 anniversary. I spent so many gems, over 100,000 gems, just to get 1 out of 5 copies of each of those characters. That is why I've been so lucky, just saying. Anyway. Whatever. This character's super strong, obviously very, very strong damage dealer. I like how she plays with the flinch here. This was super fun. Using her in the Ghost and Dark High Score event was also really, 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 really funny, just because she was able to do 1,000 strength pretty much so effortlessly against, I think it was Agatha. I don't quite remember, but she was just pretty much able to brute force the stage. She's also got great dodge utility, which I find a lot of good usage in for like strike tech stages in the battle rally, because you've actually got a character that can take hits because she can, well, dodge them. Plus, having Slippery here on the train move helps that and whatnot. So, this character is really, really strong and really, really fun. And, of course, combining her with Renegade Cynthia, who I still really, really, really like as a character, and Pokemon combination and all of that, that was great for me. So, very, very great to have another good partner for the Ghost team, especially one that could also have then been combined with Gardenia here. One of my favorite, my favorite Ghost team. Summer Gardenia, Costume Irida, and Renegade Cynthia. Still, such a fun team. Okay. Moving on to number 4, character released very recently that I did showcase over, Sina and Glaceon. Sina and Glaceon, of course, Glaceon's one of my favorite Pokemon. She was literally the character I was hyped up for the most in the entire update, in the entire November update, and I was super happy that I was able to get her to 5 out of 5 in just one pity cycle, honestly. That was super satisfying to see, and she's extremely fun as well. She is so effortlessly able to shred Nita's ultimate battle just because of her, just because of her really, really fast, sync ramping ability as a sprint sync pair, as well as clear a ton of legendary arenas because of her piercing blows effect on her buddy move, which, despite the fact that she doesn't have, great healing abilities, other than, the first 8-4 here, I guess, it still was really good, still was really strong for it. This is an ability that I don't think a lot of people like, but I honestly have pretty good fun with it, is timing the usage of your moves to where the berries can actually give you -3 sync countdown and really reduce your sync count in a shitload. Combining that with her potential Sprinty X functionality, and, well, you're literally getting to your next sync move pretty much the turn after, which is really, really satisfying to see. So, Sina and Glaceon, really, really fun playstyle to me. I really enjoy their playstyle. That dodge ability as well gives them great utility in the damage challenge, especially because I'm not someone with Champion Red invested, so the fact that I now have a very reliable option for 3v3 Ice is honestly also really, really good. I love her utility. I love her just natural strength, because she is also, again, really strong. And, well, obviously Glaceon. Yes, one of my favorite Pokemon. Super good. Not really too big on Sina as a character, just saying. Her Endexio's theme is good. It was a good Pokemon Masters remix for sure. Just never really had much to say about her Endexio as characters. I played X and Y and Sun and Moon. I know who they are. Just they never really stood out. Just saying. Anyway, number 3. I'm gonna be honest. My number 1 to number 3 can probably be interchanged with each other. They're just being honest. So you can consider this as all number 1 if you really want to. But whatever. We'll go on to it. Rika and Clodsire, number 3. Rika and Clodsire are so fun. I love Rika as a character. She is, if we don't count the DLC, because Perrin takes number 1 otherwise, she might be my favorite character in Scarlet and Violet. She's up there with Larry and Turo for sure. I love those. I love all 3 of those characters. Though Larry, just spoiler alert, is not on this list. He's actually not. I want to say, once I actually get to number 1, that a few of these characters do definitely deserve honorable mentions. It's similar to how Skyla, I would potentially put at number 10 alongside Lear. But anyway, Rika, super fun character. I love her design. I honestly really do like her kit design. She's just a very good general supportive character, even though she really wants to kind of focus on that ground zone, especially after the Super Awakening, giving her Sync Burst, which gives her another usage of her ground zone here. but it's not really the point. She's got herself, like, both defenses being able to buff with X special defense all. She has to shield it in the grid. Noxious hit for being able to debuff offenses. That's one of my favorite abilities for sure, is when a support can buff defenses consistently and also consistently debuff offenses, giving you, basically double the defensive utility. She's also able to buff both offensive stats and apply gauge acceleration. She's able to buff both physical and special moves next. She's obviously, good to help ground type characters because of the grounds and extension, as well as the field DX roll and her buddy move being able to set ground zone, which also gives more physical and special moves next, right? I think one of the big traits people don't like about Rika is the fact that she's just, physical and special mixed and not necessarily physical leaning, because a lot of good ground types, the best ones, are all physical, right? I mean, even in cases after her, Arcsuit Cynthia and Lucas, these are both physical characters, right? Even ones before her, Roxanne, Adaman, Irida Giovanni. These are like the three best ground type characters to be using, at that point, and well, they were all physical, right? The only real notable special ground type character is just Naomi, and I don't even say notable because she is the only one other than Lodge Rika herself. But I mean, I don't really tend to care about that. It just means I get more general usage out of Rika. I use her to clear the Nita Ultimate battle alongside Sina and Irida, right? That was really, really funny to see, seeing how well that Rika could end up, providing support to the team in terms of like her healing, defensive bulk, and all that stuff. And that was really, really satisfying to see. Well, how well she provided that to the team, and that was probably one of the biggest reasons I put her at number 3, as well, of course, being one of my favorite characters finally in the game. She was super fun to have on release and just play around. She's great in the Legendary arenas, great in the Ultimate battles. I mean, damage challenge, she suffers a bit because of trash tank, but that's okay. No big deal. Overall, number 3, Rika and Clodsire. Love them to death. Love them. All right, number 2, Volo and Togepi. This character would easily be number 1, pretty much without any shadow of a doubt, if I liked the combination of trainer and Pokemon better, and if the kit was I'm not going to say less wonky, because I honestly really appreciate what they did with this kit, but I think there's quite a few traits that could have really helped him a lot more that probably could have just straight up boosted him to number 1 without having to change him too much at all. For one, why is he only at number 2? Well, I don't really care about Togepi. I get it. He uses a Togepi. It makes sense with how he's trying to be, he's trying to, fake being a nice person or whatever. Oh, man. Yeah, the story is half the reason he's up here. The fact that he's providing so much lore already. Legends Arceus is a great game. And then, them bringing all that into Pokemon Masters is amazing. But I don't care about Togepi, man. You could have given him Togekiss. That would have been better. But it's more so the fact that we already have every single Togepi line in the game. We've got Berg, Palatine's Elisa, Holiday Skyla. Boom. All 3 friggin' Togepi lines, and now we got Volo and another Togepi. And there's probably a good chance we could get another friggin' Togekiss or something somewhere down the line for whatever reason. Anyway, I just hated it. I didn't like it. I would prefer Gibble. I really would prefer Gibble, but they give it to him in Lodge. And I don't really like the Lodge character's kit. Sorry. It's just not that great. Oops. I love the pairing. Not really the kit. Doesn't really do it for me. But also, Volo's kit has traits that I'm just not too big on. I do like it in a lot of aspects. I love the debuffing. I love the circle setting. I love the randomness with Metronome, and as well as being able to buff and apply support. I love his supportive ability as a tech, well, as a field character. I do really, really appreciate that, and I really like it. But I don't like that they just tried to make him a jack of all traits and not really excel in a specific area. And one thing that I think could have done it for him is if they would have given him the support EX role instead of tech. If they would have given him support, that would have given him more bulk stats, that would put him to nearly 300 in the defenses, and that would have also given you support EX on his sync move, which would have given you more reason to actually, well, use his sync move, right? His sync move now, after Super Awakening, is 600 power with 50% multiplier on Brain Sync, Bronze Sync, it's Brain Sync, as well as the Team Circle sync move power up here. Does he have anything on here? No, he doesn't. So, I mean, that's good, right? I mean, it's fine, but it's not really that great of a sync nuke, and you're kind of wanting to set Fairy Zone with it. It's got good effects to, use it, but the damage and lack of support EX kind of hurts it a little bit. Quite a bit, at least in my opinion. They did give him a lot of utility to use the sync move on Super Awakening, but I haven't even gotten to Super Awakening because it's not accessible. So I'm not even going to consider it just because I don't have it. This is my list for that reason. But those are the biggest things for me. His sync move really lacked value, at least until the Super Awakening. But I did like a lot of his other abilities, like the supportive nature he's got with the damage reduction abilities, the debuffing, the circle setting, and stuff like that. I really appreciated that for him. And his healing, sadly, was pretty lacking prior to Super Awakening. And even with the Super Awakening, it's not fantastic, but it was quite a good help to him at least. So yeah. Anyway, Volo at number 2, I really, he's a great character, and the kit is pretty fun, but, the kit could have been a bit better, and also not big on the pairing with the Pokemon. That is why he's at number 2 and not number 1, which goes to Costume, Adaman, and Ursaluna. Adaman, I think, didn't I rank Adaman as my number 1 favorite character in last year's, character list, or, new sync pair, or their sync pair, tier list, right? Same video for last year, whatever you want to call it. I think I did. I'm pretty sure Adaman was number 1, and well, he brought it back. He brought it back in another consistently good sync pair. I mean, there's flaws with Adaman, Costume Adaman for sure, but he just plays so much more fluid. I really, really appreciate how he plays. I love his gimmick with Burn. That self-burn is very fun. And the fact that he doesn't get hindered by it is nice. This prevents him innately from being hit with other status conditions, which is on its own a pretty good effect. He's able to potion heal for himself or for allies. He's able to do a ton of damage, right? He's got Gritty 3. He's giving himself physical moves next whenever he's hit while burned. He's able to give himself a little bit of HP recovery. He does more damage the less HP he has, which is on its own also a really fun gimmick. Burning Dance powering up his moves when affected by a status condition. Again, giving good actual usage to the Gritty Lucky skill is also pretty funny, and I mean, it works pretty well. I just really appreciate this Adaman's character, this kit. I really like it. And it's also very, very good in the simple fact that this could potentially tie into a future or Perrin and Blood Moon Ursaluna. I really think they've got basically all the obligation to do that now that they actually gave Adaman and Ursaluna, just because it's like that side quest in Scarlet and Violet's DLC was so good. Give Perrin in the game, when she releases in the game, give her Growlithe or Leafeon or whoever, right? I mean, fair enough, right? But in the future, give her an alt and give her Blood Moon Ursaluna, and then make these two be able to be run together extremely well, and that is just super cool. That would be super cool. It is similar in the fact that they somewhat foreshadowed Volo and Garatina in Legends Arceus when they gave us Renegade Cynthia in this game. But except in this case, they gave us they gave us regular Ursaluna and Adaman to kind of tie in with the fact that there was the Perrin and Blood Moon Ursaluna event in Scarlet and Violet. I love it when this game does that, when they kind of tie into like what's going on in the main series or what could potentially be coming up in the main series, right? I'm a full believer in the conspiracy theory that they knew that Volo and Giratina was going to be a big thing in Legends Arceus, and so they gave Renegade Cynthia, Giratina as well. I'm a full believer of that. Anyway, doesn't really matter too much. That's my list, really. I mean, Adaman, number 1, just because of how well he plays, and in fact, he's still one of my favorite characters, and I really do like Ursaluna, especially, the fact that you could potentially tie that into a future Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Perrin. That just really solved it for me there, after all of that happened, and I played the DLCs. I wasn't going to play the DLCs, but I think, when did I get the DLCs? I think it was for Christmas last year. Fuck. Well, either way, after I played those DLCs, I was super happy, to have that little bit of extra story on, why Adaman potentially got this Ursaluna. At least in my own personal headcanon. As for characters that I would definitely put, like, somewhere in, like, the top 20 or top 15 or whatever, but didn't, I just want to give a little bit of an honorable mention. Launch Skyla, Mixed Blue, Signasuit, Emmett, and Ingo. These are 2 of my favorite characters, but they came out at a bad time for me, honestly. Just wasn't enjoying the game. Still not really enjoying the game that much, but, I do like Ingo's kit a lot. I really enjoyed doing a lot of his solos for that Legendary Arena Showcase video. And Emmett was pretty fun as well. I mean, his kit plays a lot more weird to me, but I mean, I still do like him. He's still strong for sure. I just wouldn't put them in the top 10, especially considering, circumstances around when they released for me. Anniversary Lily, 2024, this character's super fun. I really do like her kit, especially, when she played alongside the release of this next, the best character in the game, Arceus Steven. That was just super strong. Larry, one of my favorite characters of Scarlet and Violet, as I mentioned with Rika, just didn't make it on the list. I don't know, I just don't play him. I didn't use him that much. And when I do use him, I don't know, I just don't feel too much when using him. I don't know why. But I do like him. I really do. Maybe that's kind of the point, considering he's a very neutral person. And there's probably a few other characters I'd add to this little, list here, like Champion Sharon and Holiday Lily and maybe a few others. But those are probably the big ones, I would say. Yeah, that's my top 10 overall, right? Remove these characters from Skyla to Larry, and that's pretty much the top 10. So, yeah. I did actually have a picture pulled up to where I was, using for this video. I did end up swapping Steven and Gardenia around just because of how well I enjoy using Steven. So, that's okay. Anyway, a lot of this stuff can probably shift around a little bit. I don't really have too much of a big opinion on keeping characters in one spot or whatever. Like, you could definitely move Rika to number 1 in some cases, or Volo to number 1 in some cases, but for the most part, I'm just going to keep it as is. So yeah, I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed. That was my top 10 sync pairs of 2024. Again, this is about more so just how I like the character, the kit and character and sync pair overall, not necessarily how strong they are or how much I directly like the character, but obviously liking the character really sends them a good deal higher. Let's be honest. But also having a good kit's a really, really strong factor as well. Otherwise, Ingo, Emmett, and Skylo would have taken the top spots in this one. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all enjoyed. That was the video. Yeah, peace. Let me know what you think about let me know what your favorite sync pair of the year is down in the comments below. Yeah, peace.